Hello YouTube. In this video, I will be discussing about water changes in the aquarium hobby. First of all, it's very important to do regular water changes because it is indeed the best form of filtration that you can provide to your aquariums. As you remove aquarium water and replace it with new fresh water from your tap or from your RO system or from any underground water source, you're actually reducing the nitrate content in your tank, increasing the dissolved oxygen content by introducing fresh water, also increasing the CO2 content by introducing the fresh water. It will be extremely helpful for the plants. If you have a planted tank, you're going to reintroduce some of the minerals content in your tap water uh, for the plants to grow. Again, if you have a planted tank, it will also help you, the water changes will also help you to reduce any pathogens that already is existing in the water column of your tank. I hope not. Anyways, so there are many other benefits also to water change, but we all do not know as to how much water change should be done, right? So let's talk about this amount of water change that needs to be performed. This will depend mainly on the fish load of your tank. The more the number of fish, the more is the nitrate count in your fish tank, and hence the more you have to do the regular water changes. However, if you have a extremely densely planted tank, there are many plants in it, uh, the scenario might be little different because plants use up nitrates for their growth process. So the final nitrate content in your plant will be reduced to a great margin if you have a lot of plants. Now there are other topics that we can discuss about how plants might also need fresh water because fresh water introduces fresh minerals, but we can discuss it in a different video. Now let's do some mathematics in an Excel sheet I prepared. What I've tried to do is that I've done a simple mathematic calculation that in which I'm trying to have a fixed amount of nitrate production every week in my tank and a regular percentage of water changes that I perform at the end of every week. All right. So if you I've assumed, if you see this Excel sheet, I've assumed that 100 units of nitrate are produced every week in my tank. This will of course vary depending on the fish load, and 100 units is just a assumption or a general number. Generally, nitrate content will be in ppm, parts per million. You have the test kit that will give you the idea. Generally, below 10 is very good. I mean, zero nitrate content is the best, but below 10, if you're maintaining your nitrate content below 10 ppm, that's very good. Below 20 is acceptable, but anything above 20 ppm is not acceptable. So 100 units of nitrate generated every week in my tank, and I do a 50% of water change at the end of every week. All right, so in the three columns here, you see the number of weeks, the nitrate amount at the end of every week before the water change, and the nitrate amount at the end of every week after the water change, right? So in the end of first week, we see 100 units of nitrate being generated or produced, and then we perform a 50% water change, and hence we reduce the nitrate amount by 50%, and we have 50 units of nitrate remaining at the end of first week after the water change. Now at the end of second week, we have freshly generated 100 units of nitrate plus the 50 unit that remained from the last week. So it's 150 units in total at the end of week 2, and I again perform a 50% water change upon the 150 units of nitrate. So all I have is 75 units remaining at the end of week 2, and so on. I've applied the equations and made the calculations for maybe, I think, yeah, for 23 weeks in total, right? The interesting thing to notice is that after about 7 weeks, the water, the nitrate level in water remains or becomes constant at around 99 units, right? Very close to constant. It grows extremely slowly every week, right? And this 99 odd units is equal to the 100 units of nitrate generated every week, right? So you are not able to reduce it further. If you do a 50% change, you will finally get this 100 units of nitrate constantly every week, even after you do regular 50% water change. After 7th week, you will have it constant, right? Now let's see what happens if I do a 75% water change every week rather than a 50%. So let me do some changes out here. Let me change this to 75%, and in the equation let me change it from 0.5 to 0.75, and let me apply it over all the cells in this column. Alright, now we see a different curve out here. The curve, the nitrate content here increases and then becomes constant at 33 odd units. And here, after in the 75% water change calculation, you can see in the 4th week onwards, I have maintained about 33 units of nitrate, which is about 30% of the weekly production of nitrate, which is 100 units per week, right? So this is incredible. Now let's go and try with 25% water change, right? Let's see what happens if we do a 25% water change every week. And let me quickly update it. There we go. And now we see, oh, this time the scenario is very different. I mean, yes, it increases and becomes constant, but the number of weeks it takes to get that constant level is very high. You can see here, maybe 18th week or 20th week to reach the 298 units or 299 unit mark. You have the 20th week, you reach 299, and then you see a slow growth. I'm pretty sure if I extend it, it'll grow somewhere around 300 and become extremely constant. But you can see the curve out here, it's almost getting to that constant level. But the amount of nitrate at this constant level is close to 300, which is like 3 times the weekly production amount of 100 units. So if we do a 25% weekly water change, we are actually maintaining 3 times our weekly production throughout, right? That is interesting, and I think that should be informed. I mean, everyone should be informed about this, so that this is the reason why I created this video for you guys, to have an idea about how the water change calculation actually performs, right? So there is no hard and fast rule that you should do 75% water change or 50% water change. There are other factors, because 75% water change might also introduce pH changes in your aquarium, which is not very good thing. There are people who do daily water change rather than weekly water change. So the decision is up to you. I will not enforce a decision or a hard and fast rule, but I hope this video or this calculation that I made in this video will help you decide the proper amount of water change that you need to perform on your tank, depending on your fish load or your plant population, if you have any plant. That's all I wanted to share in this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can post a comment beneath the video in the comment section, and that'll be all. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you next time.